Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing the film Lockbox for you all. Lockbox presents a story about a woman who puts everything on the line to defend her enigmatic cousin from a dangerous otherworldly entity that is determined to track him down. Unfortunately, yes, that's the plot of the movie. The movie is from the same director as Pray for the Devil and The Last Exorcism, which initially raised my expectations for this film. Though those films had a certain atmosphere and tension that I was hoping Lockbox would build upon. Sadly, while the acting is genuinely good, I found Catherine Isabel's character to be quite perplexing. Her motivations and actions felt inconsistent and out of place within the context of this film. At times it seemed like her character was just there to move the plot forward and also put her but her behavior often felt disconnected and confusing, which pulled me out of the movie. It's disappointing because Catherine Isabel is a talented actress, but her role here doesn't seem to fit naturally into the narrative, making her character feel like an afterthought rather than an integral part. Visually, the film is shot well. The cinematography captures some interesting angles, and I would say there are moments of just a little bit of atmospheric lighting that could have added to the suspense. However, these visual strengths are ultimately overshadowed by the chaos of the story itself. The film makes no sense. There's just too much going on, with a barrage of plot points, ideas, and supernatural elements that feel like they were thrown together without any real coherence. Instead of building tension or a sense of dread, it pulls on more and more, creating a confusing, disorganized narrative that leaves viewers feeling lost and frustrated. The story jumps from one idea to another, and none of the ideas are given enough time to breathe or developed into anything meaningful. Also, the movie lacks the scares and creepy atmosphere you'd expect from a supernatural horror film. There are some attempts at atmospheric tension, but they fall flat because the overall mood is underwhelming and uninspired. The film attempts at suspense come across as forced, and the build-up feels pointless because it ultimately leads nowhere. The climax is unsatisfying, and it's an unresolved, muddled mess that leaves viewers, including myself, with more questions than answers. The film's failure to create genuine fear or tension makes it feel more like a collection of scenes rather than a cohesive horror story. The only thing that saves Lockbox from being a complete disaster is that the production values are decent. The film looks good visually and the special effects are serviceable, but they can't salvage a story that's so directionless. The performances are competent and some of the supporting cast do a good job with their limited screen time, but none of it can the fundamental issues with the script and pacing. So in the end, Lockbox is a frustrating experience. It tries to be a supernatural thriller with high stakes, but it ends up being a convoluted, confusing mess that offers little in terms of scares or emotional impact. It's a film that falls short on storytelling and atmosphere, leaving viewers more annoyed than intrigued. I wouldn't recommend this movie to horror fans or anyone looking for a well-crafted supernatural story. It's a poorly executed film that simply doesn't come together, and it's unlikely to satisfy viewers expecting a compelling or scary experience. If you're curious, I'll suggest skipping this one and looking elsewhere for a more coherent supernatural thriller. My score for this movie is a 1.5 out of 5. So even though I don't recommend it, if you do decide to see it, just know that it's not a really good movie. As I said, my score for this movie is 1.5 out of 5. If you like this sort of content, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more upcoming horror movie reviews in the future. Cheers.